guys got to entertain me till it starts. They make me sit up here and there's no one to talk to.
Watch your step there.
All the way down. All the way down.
What's that?
All the way to the other side.
All right, guys. Thanks for waiting for us. Before I start this thing, I would like to say a few words about a gentleman who has meant a great deal to this company. He's a guy who, his charisma, his personality, his fighting style has helped elevate the UFC and mixed martial arts to where we are today. And I truly believe that he is here, that we are where we are. We are here. Had this great event tonight that was packed with people going crazy, and all these guys came out and delivered and had a great night. And it was, you know, he is one of the guys who has been one of the building blocks in the sport and in this company. And tonight we are going to announce his retirement. Let's play it. He launched season 1 of The Ultimate Fighter. He went on to accomplish things that people thought he couldn't. Won that season of the Ultimate. He's the original Ultimate Fighter, and then went on to win the light heavyweight championship. Packed arenas, became a huge star for us. Ladies and gentlemen, Forrest Griffin.
Thank you guys very much. It's been a good 8 years, I guess. The biggest thing I've learned is that when Dana White says retire, you should retire. Otherwise, you will blow your knee out before your next fight. Thank you, guys.
Hold on, stick around for a minute. Do you guys have any questions for Forrest Griffin? And just, I know there's probably questions. Forrest Griffin, you know, he's retiring like the other guys that retired. Forrest Griffin has been a huge star for us. Anything we've ever needed from Forrest Griffin, he's been there for us. Anything we've ever asked of Forrest Griffin, he has done. Every time Forrest Griffin has stepped in the octagon, he gives everything he has. He is staying with the UFC. He will have some role, some title. Hopefully he will work more than Chuck Liddell does. But yes, he will be here, and he will stay with this company at least for the rest of my life. So, any questions for him? Guy's fucking retiring and nobody has a question? Go ahead.
Forrest, hold on, Forrest. Wait, we're not letting you get away. Forrest, you kind of joked about down here in front. You kind of joked about it, but how much of this was you, and how much of it was Dana, putting pressure on you to retire?
No, well, here's the thing. If you think about it, 2 of my last 3 fights I've pulled out due to injury. When you make a habit of being on billboards and, having them push your fights and you don't actually fight, it's actually time to retire, unfortunately.
So this has been something going through your head for
No,
a
it's
little
just,
bit?
I mean, if you think about it, I pull out of this fight, I pull out of that fight. How many fights can you pull out of before you become, an unsecured product? I mean, I wouldn't invest in me at this point.
Can you think back of all the fights that you've had? What's the one that you'll take away and remember the most at this
Oh,
point?
it's pretty easy. It's the Ultimate Fighter.
I want to lead
finale.
you into that one, but
yeah.
give us number 2 then.
Winning the belt.
Yeah. All right, thanks.
I think Arrow. Do you have one, Arrow?
Why? No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I know Dana said that you're going to work for the UFC, but you're relatively a young guy. What do you think you'll do now?
The UFC actually does a lot of charity stuff locally, and for the troops, for a lot of organizations you wouldn't expect. I mean, that's kind of always something I wanted to pursue. It's that thing we all say we're going to do, but I've always said I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to volunteer. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But I've got to train for this fight now. I'll do it later. Well, now is later, so that'd be a good thing I'd like to do.
How long ago did you come
there.
to? What was that? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
How long ago did you come to the realization that this was your fate?
It was weird. It was I saw the Brian Stan Vanderlei fight, and I thought, if I don't have another one of those in me, there's no point in doing this anymore. If you can't put on a product like that, I mean, I never really cared winning, losing. If you can't put on a product like that, then don't put that product out there at all if it's going to be subpar.
And was that a tough pill to swallow, or did you wake up the next day and it just kind of hit you?
I mean, this has been my dream since 2000. This is all I've really wanted to do. So, I don't really know. I don't know what's next. I'll figure it out, though.
Thank you. Congrats on a
Thank
great
you,
career.
guys.
And I was joking, Chuck. And thanks for coming. Chuck wanted to be here to see this because Forrest was his boy and the Ultimate Fighter and their friends. Real quick, when Forrest said that's true. There's this charity here in town called Foursquare. I'll make this real quick. It's called Foursquare, and we were looking into it on supporting this thing. There's so many kids in Las Vegas. This is a crazy story, but they only eat at school. The parents don't have money, so Friday when they have lunch at school, they don't eat again till Monday's lunch because they don't have money. And this company brings food to them. So we went to meet with these people, and we're talking to them, and they're walking us through the thing, and they said, you know Forrest Griffin, right? I'm like, yeah, we know Forrest Griffin. They said, well, we didn't know who he was. He comes here every day, and he goes in the back and he cooks. All right, well, I exaggerate. You should have stuck with every day, all right? He goes there once a month, and he cooks food, and he packs lunches, and he does whatever they need around there. And then they said when he leaves, he writes a check. That's who Forrest Griffin is. And that blew us away, and I agree with him. Lorenzo and I hadn't even talked about it, but that would be an amazing job for Forrest. I agree. So thank you, Forrest. We appreciate you very much, brother. Thank you. So let me get into this now. The attendance tonight was 11,089. We did a gate of 2.942 million. The fight of the night, a no-brainer. Junior Dos Santos versus Mark Hunt. Submission of the night, Glover Teixeira. And the knockout of the night was gonna be Junior Dos Santos. It was gonna be. It isn't. It was gonna be. That fight got vetoed by Mike Tyson, who said it should be TJ Grant. So TJ Grant got the knockout of the night. They all get $50,000. Congratulations. Who's got the first question?
Dana, I know you've got a lot of key heavyweight fights coming up, but based on how fantastic Junior looked this evening, does that look like that's, the trilogy is next?
No brainer. Yeah, if there was ever a trilogy, that's it right there. If you look at the way that both fights went, Junior destroys him in the first fight, Kane destroys him in the second fight. I can't wait to see the third fight. You know what I mean? They both looked awesome tonight. They're the two best heavyweights in the world. That's the fight.
And do you have any clue when that might take place? I know you said that the Fox Sports 1 debut, you had like 4 options on the table. You were kind of waiting to get through this weekend. Have you been able to make a choice? Would that
No,
be it?
I don't know what we're going to do. We have probably 4 or 5 options right now, so we'll see.
Okay. Thank you, Dana. And Junior, I guess there it is. It's official. The trilogy will be next. Give your thoughts on having that matchup in front of you again.
I didn't understand very well, but I think you're talking about my next fight, if that's going to be for the title, and that's what I want. I believe so much I can stay on top of this division for a long time, and I'll do my best to get that.
And I guess just one for Kane, if I could. Obviously, congratulations on your win. Without letting you enjoy it too much, Dana's already booked your next fight. He said it's going to be the trilogy next. Can you give your thoughts on that being the next fight? Is that what you had hoped for and wanted?
Just that fight made sense, So definitely, I'm all up for that fight.
Want to give a mic to Showdown Joe in the back there?
Dan, if we can just get your thoughts on TJ's performance over a guy like Gray Maynard.
Well, when we're looking at all these different fights and options and all these things to do, and I wanted to make sure that if the next contender for the title was putting on great fights, and obviously Josh Thompson just had a great performance against Diaz. I wanted to see something good tonight. I wanted to see something special, and I saw that tonight, and he's getting the next title shot.
And not to reiterate what John kind of hinted, but do you have a time frame as to when it may take place?
When?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I love when the fight happened 30 minutes ago and you guys asked me that.
This is a question for Bigfoot. Do you think the fight was stopped too early?
Yes, he does. I've been hearing about it.
I'm going to explain in Portuguese. You're going to translate for me, okay?
A luta foi, yeah, you know it.
Eu acho que sim, mas o meu pensamento é o seguinte. Do jeito que o atleta, quando faz alguma coisa errada, é penalizado, eu acho que o árbitro também tem que ser penalizado.
I do agree that the fight was stopped too early. The way that I think, my way of thinking, is that the same that applies to athletes who are penalized when they do something wrong or illegal should also apply to referees when they do something wrong. They too should be penalized.
Eu não tenho que falar nada, basta vocês verem um vídeo que eu tomei várias pancadas na nuca e o árbitro teve no vestiário e disse que a primeira era uma advertência, a segunda tirava num ponto. E vocês próprios assistem um vídeo, vocês vão ver que eu tomei várias.
I don't want to say too much. I'd rather you each just watch the fight playback. It's clear watching it that I took several illegal blows to the back of my neck. And the referee explained to me that the first illegal blow is a warning that should be issued. The second should be penalized on points. But in seeing the playback, you can see that I took several illegal blows to the back of my neck.
Caim Velasco é um grande atleta, não é desculpa para a derrota e vou me preparar melhor e quero uma oportunidade o mais cedo possível no UFC e vou dar o meu melhor sempre nas minhas lutas.
Cain Velasquez is a tremendous athlete, and I don't want my grievance on the illegal blows issue to take away from his tremendous athleticism. I am looking forward to my next big opportunity in the UFC, and I hope that I can do a great fight for you guys in the near future.
Dana, do you have a comment on that, or how do you feel about it?
I love the idea of penalizing referees. That would be awesome. It's the best idea I've heard in a long time. Yeah, I think anybody who watches this fight, I've seen worse stoppages. The problem is that when When Bigfoot went down, he gets rocked with that big shot. When he goes down, he covers up. And if you're not intelligently defending yourself, the ref's going to jump in and stop the fight. You know, we could talk refs all day. It was Yamasaki, right? Was the ref? Yeah. The smallest referee on the planet refereeing the two biggest guys on the planet, you know? And anytime it's a big, meaningful fight, all the money's on the line, the belt's on the line, I like to see guys like Herb Dean in there. Herb Dean, you know, 9 out of 10 times does the right thing, makes the right call. He's a real educated referee that knows about fighting, and he's made 1,000 more good calls than bad calls. You know, it's just, it's one of those things where these guys, not only their lives, their livelihood, their legacy, their record. This isn't baseball. There aren't 300 games a season. You know what I mean? These guys live fight by fight. You have to have the right people in there. And when you got a guy that's this friggin' tall, you know, reffing two giant monsters, it just makes there's no common sense in that at all.
All right, and lastly, a question for Glover. Congratulations on your win. People, I think, felt if they didn't already like you after that post-fight speech, talking about Mike Tyson and everything, I think everybody's fallen in love with you for that. But where do you think you should go? Who should you fight next? Because after beating Quentin, people probably thought you were going to get somebody higher ranked. No disrespect to James, he's a great fighter, but did you feel a little bit that you should have gotten somebody higher up? And do you feel like you'll tell Joe now you really need it?
No, I'm not going to tell Joe anything. I think he's doing a pretty good job. James was a good fight. They give me Ryan Bader first. He's more up in the rank, but I think James Terhune was going to be more excited fight for the fans, and I don't care. I just excited for my next fight.
Thanks.
This question is for Cain. Cain, over here. If you can also answer in Spanish, please. First of all, congratulations for defending your title. What did it feel like? Was it different than winning the title? And also, would you like to fight in Mexico?
The feel was the same, you know, just go out there with the win, knowing that the belt was on the line, definitely. And yeah, for sure, I would love to. That all depends on the UFC, you know, for sure, but I would love to. Sí, me sentí bien ahorita. Yo sé que era una pelea por el cinturón y todo eso, y nomás estoy contento que gané, y me gustaría pelear en México. Es uno de mis sueños para pelear ahí, y todo eso depende en la UFC.
Quick follow-up, Dana White, possibility of Cain defending his belt in Mexico?
Since day one, since we bought this company, I've wanted to do a fight in Mexico. I've wanted to be on TV in Mexico. I've wanted to do everything in Mexico. Yeah, I would love to do it. We'll see what happens.
So it's possible.
Anything's possible.
Hey, Cain, do you have a response to to Bigfoot's kind of allegations of blows to the back of the neck?
You know, when the ref came in, he told me anything connecting to the ear was all good, so that's what I made sure I did.
And this is for JDS. Looks like the end of the first round, you may have hurt your knee a little bit. You kind of stumbled. Looks like you may have slipped a little bit. Are you healthy? And do you have any injuries come out of this fight?
No, I was 100% for this fight. I did an excellent camp in Brazil, and now I'm a little bit more professional. I have a physiologist and everything, you know, following me all the time. So if I say I'm 100%, I can prove that.
Now, how about tonight? When it looks like you slipped there, you slipped on maybe some blood or something in the ring, in the octagon there in the first round. What happened, and was that anything serious?
No, nothing serious. It was just slip.
All right, thanks.
Question for Cain. Was that the best combination you've thrown? You talked about the striking. That was a great combination you hit Bigfoot with.
Well, just using the game plan with him, we just wanted to keep moving, you know, not stand in front of him, but you know, throw 1 or 2 punches and move, or look for the takedown, you know, or just kind of regather ourselves. So it was a good combination. Yeah, I went in, you know, with the jab, caught him with the right hand, and then just followed up with the ground and pound.
Was, coming into this fight, your last fight, you hit Junior with so many good shots and you weren't able to put him away. Was making a finish, especially if you could do it with your hands, did that have any impact?
No, definitely not. You're gonna fight against really tough guys out there. Only thing you can do is, if you do connect or something, you just, keep doing your job. That's it. Not get, not start thinking about, hey, oh, he's not going out, blah, blah, blah. Just keep doing your job. Do whatever you have to do to win.
Dana, I just wanted to ask you, these guys both have said they thought they might face each other a number of times. And you referenced earlier how big of a fight that was. They have yet to have that great fight, though. The one fight, Kane was totally dominant. The other fight, the Junior was totally dominant. Do you foresee that coming, or do you think because of how hard these guys hit and also their styles that, you might have one guy or the other just kind of flip back and forth?
You could. I don't know. Before this fight, when I was breaking down the fight with Junior Dos Santos and Mark Hunt, I said, well, if you look at this fight, Junior Dos Santos has the better boxing. He's got the better hands. He'll have the better footwork and speed. He has the better movement. I think Mark Hunt hits harder and probably has a better chin. Yes, Mark Hunt has a good. Junior Dos Santos proved himself, big time tonight. I wondered what would happen if he stood in front of Mark Hunt and took those big shots. I actually thought Junior would come out and shoot and take this thing to the ground. Much respect to Junior Dos Santos. He stood in there. He stood in the pocket. They exchanged big punches. He's got an unbelievable chin and unbelievable power. And, Kane has proven, people question Kane's chin because of the fight with Junior the first time and because of that Czech Congo fight. Cain Velasquez has an awesome chin. And in that second fight, I didn't think Kane would stand up with Junior, and he did, and hurt him with punches. And it's, this is what I'm talking about. When you talk about a trilogy between two heavyweights, this is a trilogy.
Junior, right in front of you, if I could ask you, there was obviously you had a lot of respect for Mark's power. How hard did he hit you? When he hit you with the one left hook on the cage, I mean, did that remind you of any of the shots that you took from Kane in the last fight?
No, it was way harder than Kane's punch. but, he hits very hard, he got heavy hands. I knew that, and I respect that guy a lot. But like I said, man, I believe so much in myself, in my striking skills, and I believe I can knock anyone out. And, yeah, that's it.
And can you talk about the kick to finish it? Because you said in the cage you had never done that before, at least in competition. How often have you practiced that move? And was it something that was instinctive, or was it something that you saw on tape that he might be vulnerable to?
Well, I train that a lot in my gym, all the time I train kicks in the gym. I train everything, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and also Muay Thai, So I never felt very confident to do that during the fights because normally my hands work. So today I saw tonight I saw the moment to throw the kick, and I did, and that was bring me the victory. So I'm happy.
Question from Junior. I'm gonna ask in Portuguese because I have people from Brazil watching as well. Junior, você pode falar um pouquinho sobre se a luta foi do jeito que você esperava, o Hunt pareceu um pouco mais duro, se foi do jeito que você esperava, enfim, e o treinamento que você fez, você tinha dito que você modificou algumas coisas, você conseguiu usar coisas que você fez no treinamento no octógono?
Junior, is that fight with Mark Hunt, was it what you expected? Is it what you had trained for? It seemed he was a little bit tougher maybe than you had been initially expected toward the beginning of the round. Were you able to implement everything that you trained for this fight? And tell us a little bit about how it matched up to your expectations.
Então, realmente, não, eu estava esperando uma luta dura com ele, porque ele tem um queixo muito duro e bate muito forte, entendeu? A minha estratégia era fazer ele um pouco confuso ali, então por isso que eu tentei botar para baixo também a luta, entendeu? Fazer ele pensar que eu ia querer o jogo de chão, mas o tempo todo eu fiquei acreditando que eu podia nocautear ele, e graças a Deus eu consegui.
I might miss a little bit on this one, but it was pretty much how I expected. I expected him to be a very tough fighter. I knew he had an incredibly tough chin. Part of my strategy was to make him a little bit confused. That's why I tried to mix things up a little bit, take him down, use a ground game a little bit, do a few low kicks, And, basically my strategy was to just keep him a little bit confused.
A couple questions for Mike, please. Mike, congratulations, right in front of you over here. Great performance. I wanted to ask you when they're reading the scores, the last score, I think you raised your hand and kind of closed your eyes. You looked really emotional. I mean, what's going through your head there when you don't know what way it's going to go?
I was just basically disappointed a little bit in my performance. I wanted to finish. I had 3 finishes in a row before that, so I had a little pressure on myself to finish, and I didn't. I let him get off on me a little bit, so I was a little concerned. Now, as of late, the judges sometimes seem to be watching another fight, and I knew it was close, so I was figuring it was going to go either one way or the other.
And how quick did you feel like you recovered in the first round after he dropped you? Just what was that sequence like for you?
Not till I come back to this about midway through the second round, I believe. I don't even remember. I remember getting hit, and just trying to survive and just try to move and make sure that I could get rested for the second round. But I don't really remember much from the first round. I have to go back and look.
Sorry, just lastly, a change of topic from that, but when they just recognized Forrest, I think you were the first guy to pop up and give him an ovation. Just, I know he's a guy you've really gotten to know over the years. What do you think you'll remember most about his career?
Just his heart, man. Got one of the biggest hearts, and every time after fights and that I ever had the opportunity and to help him and work with him in some of the big, huge fights that he's had. Just to be a part of that, it's been amazing, and the kind of heart that he has is, I always told him I want some of that to rub off on me, let me get some of that, man. Anytime I had to go to war, that'd be the first dude I'd call.
Dana, right here.
Yep.
Any initial reports on Mark condition?
What's that?
Mark Hunt.
Yep.
Any updates on how he's doing? He seemed kind of bad after the fight.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. Let's see, he was transported to the hospital, but I don't know how he is.
All right, and another one. What do you think? Like, how far away is Glover from a title shot?
Is who?
Glover.
Glover?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not far. The question that was asked to him earlier. I mean, the guy's on an 18-fight win streak, but he's just gotten the UFC. You know what I mean? He just got here, and everybody's like, when's he getting his title shot? He's close now. His next fight, we'll see how these fights, in the light heavyweight division work out here in the next few, and we'll get him in there.
All right, good. And last one for Junior. Have you ever hit someone so hard, so many times, and not see him fall? And is that the reason that you turned into kicking, because you saw that you just can finish him with strikes?
No, I think the punches was working very well. I was keeping my distance with him, and I think I was way faster than him, But the reason I threw that kick was because I just saw the moment, I remember, I don't know why. I remember about me training that kick, and then I would try, and I did.
All right. Thanks. Congratulations.
Thank you.
For Cowboy, if I could, please. Cowboy, can you talk about your performance this evening? I know a couple of things you said you wanted to work on were, not having slow starts. You certainly didn't do that tonight. You said you wanted to work on, wrestling when that was smart. You did that. So can you just talk about your performance as a whole tonight?
Yeah, I mean, just one thing I really want to focus on was going out there and fight my fight. The last couple fights I wanted to, but I couldn't get my brain to do what my heart wanted to. So getting humbled by Pettis really stepped me back and let me reevaluate my career and figure out what I need to do to get out there and pull the trigger. And I feel like tonight, it was a little slow, more striking I wanted to do, but hey, I got it done, and I'm happy with my performance. So.
And a little less mountain climbing the day of the fight.
With I guess with that in mind, I mean, what is on your radar for next? I mean, are rematches to those losses things you want to look at, or is it just just fighting and staying busy? What is on your radar?
Yeah, stay as busy as I can. I'd like to fight in Mexico. That'd be awesome. But sooner the better. So.
For Glover, after your victory, it looked like you ran over there, and I believe you were talking to Mike Tyson. I know Dana was sitting right next to him, but were you talking to Dana or were you talking to Mike Tyson, and what did you say there?
I was talking with Chuck, was right behind him, and yeah, see Tyson over there, and I was really happy. I told him it was for him because yesterday in the locker room, I see what inspired me. Before all my fights, I watch Tyson highlights. That's what I watch in the room before I come down to the arena. And I mean, and Dana bring him over there. Thank you, Dana. I mean, bring him over there was a dream come true. It's priceless, man. I'm a big fan of Tyson, and I couldn't be any happier.
And for TJ, please. TJ, it seemed like there wasn't a whole ton of hype for this fight, even though a title shot was on the line. Maybe some people were overlooking you. Did you get that sense at all? And did it frustrate you? Did it fuel you that maybe people weren't giving you the respect you deserve?
It didn't bother me at all. Coming into this fight, I just I kind of blocked out all the other things that were going on, and I knew that you know, I had a tough fight ahead of me, and Gray Maynard was you know, he's an incredible test, and I knew that if I went out there and fought the way I always do, and the way I bring my game, that, you know, I had the best preparation of my life. I knew that if I did my job, that, you know, I'd make some fans and hopefully open some eyes. And, you know, I didn't really want to come out and make a statement, because I just feel like if I just go fight my fight, then that's going to be a statement enough. And I was happy for my performance.
Can you update us on your condition? I mean, any hands good? I mean, are you ready to go as soon as you can?
Yeah, I've never been this healthy after a fight. I feel 100% good, and I'm ready to go whenever. I get married in October, so maybe sooner it would be better, but whatever.
It will be.
and just last one for you. Have you started to break down Benson? I mean, did you let yourself get to that point? Have you broken him down, you know, as you've watched him fight? Or?
Honestly, I've seen all his fights just because I'm a fan of the UFC, and I give the same answer before the fight. I don't look past my opponent, and I really don't. But from now on, I mean, I'm going to enjoy this for a couple days, and then it's back to work. I know what kind of champion Benson is, and I just got to do my job, and you know, I'm gonna work my butt off.
I'll take 2 more questions. Are there 2 more questions? Mike?
For Cowboy. Before the fight, Josh Thompson was telling some of the media that if you won your fight, he thought a fight with you would make sense. So what do you think about a fight with Josh Thompson?
Absolutely, yeah. Why not? I'll fight anybody. So they just give me a when and where, and I'm game for whoever. So, but that definitely makes sense. It'll be a fun fight.
Okay. And keeping on the Josh Thompson theme, obviously he had a really impressive performance, and we've seen some guys, TJ, who has promised title shots that maybe didn't get it when they didn't look impressive. Was that sort of extra impetus for you to go out there and win as impressively as you did?
You know, I prepare really hard, and I always hope for the best result. But I mean, you can never predict a first-round knockout, especially over a guy like Gray. But my goal was to knock him out, and that was what I wanted to do. And you know, everything worked out perfect. And you know, I feel like my performance alone made a statement, and that you know, hopefully this thing happens soon.
Dana, would you be looking at this fight for December? And then Kane, I know the fight was short, but what were you most pleased with about your performance tonight?
What fight by December?
The trilogy.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it'll happen before December.
Just regaining the belt. You know, just keeping it, defending it. Yeah, it's my main goal right now. So, just happy with that.
Thank you guys very much. We appreciate it. Have a good night.